3 seconds of silence before the on my 6, so. Okay.
Oh, Jeff's gonna have fun editing this.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have a lot of fun. Hello, welcome to the Black Mind Podcast, episode fucking whatever.
I need to know the number, Alan, for the file that I eventually send these fucks.
I haven't been on the podcast in 2 weeks, dude. I don't even know anymore.
I have.
Josh will know when he fucking saves.
Josh,
this
is your responsibility.
Yeah.
Podcast 284.
Joining us this week
I don't know if that's sarcastic or not.
He's not. Yeah, I think it is actually 284.
I actually looked it up. And I'm like, it has to be this much, I think.
There you go.
It has to be. I know it has to be like close to 300. I know we're close to that number.
We're getting
Jesus
there.
fuck.
Yeah. My name is Allan. Joining me this week
y'all.
is Rory. Josh. And Ben.
Hello again.
You ruined a fucking hat trick.
I don't even know. I missed the right over my head.
Jeez.
Don't worry about it. It was not important.
I'm sure a lot of the podcast listeners will suddenly realize, hey, where's Jeff? No worries. Jeff is just indisposed.
He's dumpster diving right now.
Yeah.
Is he? I didn't know what he was up to. I didn't know what he was up to. So like, all right, we're doing it without.
No idea.
No,
I just want to make a fat joke at his expense.
He's legitimately driving all over the place because things happened at his job. So he's like, well, going back to Edmonton. So he's in the middle of driving. Yeah.
All right.
So that's where he is. Just remember he's on the roads, maybe dumpster diving. Who knows?
What a loser being employed.
I'm employed. Fucking, I'm working 5 days a week.
Loser.
Actually.
Loser.
I know.
Loser.
I agree with you. Because like now I'm making fat cash, but I'm like, I got no free time. Oh.
Yeah, it's trying to get that balance.
You know how I feel during the summer. Rory learned how I felt last summer. It's gonna be fucking great.
Yeah, working 5 days a week would be a blessing, considering like the last job I worked.
Me and Rory now bitch about it together from time to time, and I'm like, "Hey, Rory," he's like, "Sup?" It's like, "Fuck this job." He's like, "I get you."
No, I didn't. I never said that. I explicitly refused to bitch about my job to you because every time as it got closer to actually getting a job with them, you're just going like, "Oh man, I can't wait for you to complain to me," and then I'm just gonna be like, "Yes, I've been through that before." So I never bitched to you about my job. I never did. Fuck y'all. I bitched to other people, but not you.
You have bitched to me several times.
Where are the screenshots, Alan? Where are the receipts? Prove it.
There are no receipts for audio recording in TeamSpeak. And we have
I very explicitly avoided bitching at you about work. I bitched about people at work, but that's a different subject.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna bitch about work, you're gonna end up bitching about people.
And actually, I didn't do that much either because I got a pretty good crew when I worked. Concrete.
Just so you know, listeners, this is gonna be a crazy cast because we have two irregulars. I haven't been here in 2 weeks, and we have Josh.
And me.
Do we want to talk about the meme that happened this week? Do we want to talk about the meme that is just Wall Street dying?
I feel like saying it's dying is a bit of an exaggeration, but I do love this meme.
They're trying very hard, and in a way, they're succeeding, especially with like showing the brokerage bullshit. At least, I mean, it's literally just
five hedge fund companies have now declared bankruptcy.
Wait, 5?
Wow.
Are they listed at different companies?
And 5 now. And here's the thing. They're not done. Because Monday, they either have to buy the profits back or all their parent companies start to assume their costs, which means a bunch of companies start to bite that dust too. So there's a bit of a catch here of, do these companies have the money? They might, but here's the thing. I don't think they do because they were expecting to make money off this.
So that's why they're calling for the hold still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
And on February 9th, a bunch of other information gets released. I don't know what the significance of the 9th is. I know that February 2nd, it's like one of the big 2 days. It's February 2nd and February 9th,
It makes me wish I got in
the
on
run.
this.
Oh yeah,
Did you
like
get in
people
on this?
I wish I did. I wish I did.
Oh, I was so
Yeah.
mad. I was in the middle of class when this shit started, and I was like, "Fuck!" And I'm in Canada, so it takes 3 days for me to get any fucking stuff.
I'd actually been. I was actually just getting into doing penny stocks and swing trades. Maybe 3 months before this happened, and I was starting to just get comfortable. And I was browsing Reddit, and I saw the call for game, and it was a bunch of yellow stuff. But like my friend that got me into this, he's like, do not listen to Wall Street bets. Just don't. You'll be a fucking idiot if you listen to those guys. And they were calling for game, and I'm like, yeah, I should probably just ignore that.
Well, no. What makes it really funny for me is I heard Game, and I heard a couple other companies pop
It's
up.
AMC
I
and
could easily-
BlackBerry.
AMC, BlackBerry. I've heard Bed Bath & Beyond. I've heard Dogecoin. Dogecoin is now a fucking thing now, by the way.
Oh, I jumped on Dogecoin back when it was 4 cents a coin.
Yeah, it's still only like $2 or $3 a coin now.
is it $2 to
it's not even
$3?
gotten
I thought
that
it was
high yet.
lower.
It's still under $1.
No. It's still like really cheap.
Here, I can pull it up right now. Just need to open my app.
But those are like the big five.
Oh no, Dogecoin is down.
Oh, is Dogecoin down now?
Yeah, it's at 2 cents a coin.
Oh.
It's
Yeah, it's actually getting a little better, but not much.
well, no, it's actually gone down because when I got into it, it was like three something a coin. I think is when I got
Well,
it.
I mean, from when I checked it, because
But it got up
when I checked
to
it-
4 cents, and then it just started shutting down. And I think that might be because like they're trying to prevent it from happening at Dogecoin. But
The market is closed for the weekend, of course, so
Bitcoin-
can't really do any buying, selling.
Bitcoin's 24/7.
I know, but Dogecoin isn't, and Doge is still sold on the market, I do believe. I do know for a fact that the reason why if Game is dropping and like AMC and all these other companies are dropping is because they're doing aftermarket selling and stuff like that. Because there's companies that are allowed to do that because they have money in their wallets and stuff like that. Go fuck yourself. That's fucking. Oh yeah.
All right. So aside from Allan,
I'm fucking.
sort of going off the deep end there. Because you guys haven't discussed the Wall Street bets stuff at
Nope.
all yet, have you?
no.
Like, this is the first time on the podcast? All right, sweet.
Yeah.
So I guess for
So
anyone
how
who
would they
hasn't
really-
heard somehow, we should explain. That being that GameStop, which if you're listening to this podcast, I expect you know what it is. It's EB Games up here in Canada, but it's like a shitty bunch, like dickbag retailer that constantly resold games at and bought them at ridiculously low prices that you could only use for store credit and shit like that.
I love
and
the
it's been on the
joke.
way out for a long ass time. Had a bunch of like hedge funds putting money into like shorting the stock so that they'd make money off of its failure, and then a bunch of fucking meme lords just decided to put money in it.
No. They discovered that this one company owned 140% stock in this company. They own 40% more stock than there is available for this company. Mm-hmm. And they put the hedge bets on that. So, and they were expecting the company to fucking just tank this weekend. Like, it was supposed to go bankrupt this weekend. They discovered it. They found out what was happening, and they're like, you know what? Fuck you. You don't. This is market manipulation. And you know what? We like the stock. We're gonna buy the stock. That was literally like, and so they were like, all right, we have to hit X number of price to cause them to lose X amount of money. And like, it kind of like started like it kind of got like you could tell they had some sort of idea of what they're doing, but at the same time they were just fucking memeing. It's like to the moon. So, and now there's a song about it, and it's in my favorites now.
Yeah, I noticed that like Elon Musk is like buying GameStop stock and shit because everyone's just fucking memeing on it. And these guys have lost billions at this point, which is hilarious.
They've lost at least, I think, $70 billion.
Jesus Christ! Last time I looked, it was only like 3.8 billion they had lost.
They lost 3.8 billion in the first half on Wednesday at the half by like noon.
Jesus Christ.
They lost by and like they're like, we need a cash injection. So they got a cash injection, and then the market price spiked again, and they're like, and that 3.8 billion that we just got a cash injection that we just got gone. It's done. Like and like I was just and like the way to describe it is and it just went poof and it's gone. It's like that's the way to describe it in a tweet. And I was like, wow. And like, given what I know about hedge funds and what my buddy is, who got into it a little bit late himself. He's got a bit of money into it. He's got a bit of money into AMC and stuff like that. And he's like, no, I'm doing this for the money. But without a doubt, this is still for the message. Like, I want to make some money off this, and I'm going to pull out here probably over on Monday. He was like, I don't have diamond hands. I'm not committed for fucking 2 weeks to this bullshit. And I'm like, I don't blame you. He made, I think, $1,000 off it, so he's like, he's happy. He didn't buy much.
Hey, that's not bad. $1,000 is $1,000.
However, I still love the fact that there was one guy. He's a pet shop owner down in the States, who took $500,000, funneled it into a game, and said, just fuck it out. Like, this is a company I grew up with. I'm just going to funnel money into it. He did this last year without knowing anything, and he just kind of, like, ignored it. He's now one of the richest men in the world.
Jesus Christ.
He is, like, number 5. Like, legit. 5th in the standing. He has a total stock value of, I think, 1.6 billion dollars because of GameStop. And like, and here's the thing, there's people on Reddit who are like, you just helped me buy my parents a house, you just helped me pay off my college loans, and there's all these like amazing stories coming out of this, and I'm like, yeah, no. And like I know a socialist who's kind of like sitting in the chat. He's like, yeah, no, the workers rise up. I'm like, this is capitalism actually working for once. And he's like, what? It's like, yeah, no, this is when you know the market is free and everybody's allowed to get into it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, this is the workers taking back the work production. It's like, there's no production here. This is profit. This is pure profit. End of conversation. And we're fucking those guys over. Mind you, I also know that there's a small faction in Wall Street Bets who do want to destroy the American economy. And I'm like, stop that. Like, it's already going to happen because of the way Biden's fucking running money and running tills out now. And
All right, now we're getting off topic.
Hold on.
I know. I kind of like sparring off, but I'm like, no, don't do it like 2 weeks. Don't do it now. Just give me quiet time before we commit to another.
When we start steering into election talk, that's when the feels good train stops.
I have a little panic attack about those people.
Relax, you paranoid fuck.
No. Because
Right.
I've talked to the guy who's actually like working at the bank. He's like, no, there's a possibility that they could actually do that with this job, and I'm like, oh fuck,
Whatever.
Stop.
Fuck it,
Mad Max time. Let's go,
dude. Actually, though, ride or die.
yeah.
You can be part of my post-apocalyptic cult. It'll be fucking sick.
If you aren't playing guitar on top of a fucking semi with flames,
I prefer to be a Morton Joe over the Dew Fourier, if I'm being honest.
But yeah,
I'm not musically talented enough to be the Dew Fourier.
I like to find it hilarious.
I just want to have a skull mask and call people mediocre, you know?
The United States itself, or like a good chunk of the United States, would just be desert, and then that would be Mad Max. But then everywhere else is like, no, we're good. I don't know what's going on.
I think you
with
just
America.
sort of described cyberpunk, yeah.
Canada's luscious and green and
the
perfect.
entire Midwest is just the nomad clans.
oh,
And then you've got Wall Street Bets in the future Night City. They just put all their money towards building Night City. This is how cyberpunk becomes real.
Oh damn!
By the way, I played. I don't know how long it's been since you guys talked about it, but I played all the way through Cyberpunk. I played a lot of that game.
no spoilers, please. I haven't finished it.
All right. Well, I won't talk about the endings or anything, other than to say the ones that I've done so far have been pretty universally good. to the point where I have trouble deciding which one is my favorite. This game, like, I mean, people have been like shitting on this game
Except for Stefan, who wanted just one ending, and he's sour about all.
Okay, so the one he's talking about is the secret ending, which I won't spoil anything about, but it doesn't. It's a variant on one of the other endings, so I think he is mad for no reason in that case, because it doesn't really change much. Either of the endings you can get out of it are similar to other endings. You lose more. I don't want to talk too much for spoiler reasons. How far are you in, Ben?
I'm pretty much doing a 100%, so it's pretty much after like shit pops off and
all right, so after the map opens up.
Yeah, I did.
And you can leave Watson.
I did quite a bit.
I've done a sort of pseudo 100% run. I locked myself out of certain side quests, but everything that I could do, I've done. I haven't done every like NCPD alert or anything like that, but all the gigs and side quests I did.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. Is all the gigs and the side quests.
Yep. Rock the side quests and then do gigs in between. Because the side quests often take time between them before the next one will pop up. So if you do what I did and then just bust about through all like a shit ton of gigs, you will have to have to take breaks between side quests because like they need time to progress.
I see.
Though you do only unlock certain side quests by like doing main story stuff. So there's also that.
Yeah, I'm kind of just like my plan is just like clear the map, then do some main quests, and if more stuff pops up, then do that, and then do main quests, and then do that as it kind of like.
The only thing that pops up is like the longer side quests, which are pretty universally good because most of them just have you like interacting with one character, and all of the characters that you interact with that way are pretty great, actually. Like this is the same studio that made The Witcher. Their character writing is actually pretty on point.
You're honestly probably the only person that actually has been like saying anything nice about this game for a while.
People have been shitting all over it, and it does have problems. But I was not all up in the hype train, so I was not fucking losing my mind over missing features. And as buggy as the game is, it's just kind of immersion destroying. Like. Which is a shame because I feel like I could really get immersed in this game, and the setting that it's got going on.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a buggy piece of shit, but like most of the time it still functions, and I haven't really encountered a bug that has just fucking stopped my progression at all. There's been no like compliance issues.
Yeah, I'm kind of
just kind of jam.
I'm just waiting for the patches to kind of like smooth out anything like game breaking or whatnot, and then just like, all right, now I can like kind of play.
I haven't run into anything game breaking.
Well, there was the save breaking bugs on PC, I think it was. That I was like, I should probably avoid those. It was within like the first week, and I was like, you know what?
I imagine like the compliance issues, they're going to get sorted out quick, which is good.
So
that's what they should be.
Because it was right before the holidays, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna play a bit, get my fill, and I'll set it down for a few months. I'll come back to it when there's a lot more available. Well, not more available, but when it's more stable.
When it's been polished up, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more. I know that it's not gonna be perfect because it's probably gonna take a while.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I'm looking forward to some of the stuff they eventually bring out. The variety is not really what I expected going in. It's a little low on that, but I'm still having fun with most of it. Like jumping around with it's an open world with a lot of surprisingly good verticality.
Yeah.
It's kind of just fun to wander around the city and see the amount of detail and denseness that's been put into it. It's not perfect, but I'm having a good time with it. Or, well, I had a good time with it. I'm done now. Took me about 120 hours before I decided to finish the game. I haven't watched all the endings either. Some of them I'm just not particularly interested in.
Yeah, I kind of wish that when they were talking about the life paths, that they were a little more
Yeah, they're just dialogue options.
defining, and even then, like your character's voice still just like sounds like the street punk, and it's just nothing changes.
Well, okay, so here's the thing about that. That's an unavoidable thing
Again, yeah,
in a game
because
like
all
this.
voiced.
Like with the amount of dialogue you have, you can't really have too many voices. Moreover, to think of this as like a from base RPG where you get to pick everything about your character is a bit of a mistake. It's much more like CD Projekt's earlier games, i.e. The Witcher, in that V, like Geralt, is a set character who you can sort of steer a little bit.
Yeah.
But like they are,
I felt like they should
their own
have sold
character.
it more that way, personally, instead of the way that
I mean,
they
you
did.
do have a bit more control over like who and what V is than you do like Geralt, like because you have like a way you can build them, a way you can take things on.
Yeah.
Whereas with The Witcher, you're a Witcher. You have two swords. You have like your potions, and yeah, you can sort of have a bit of variety in how you take things on. But like you can only spec so far one difference one way or the other. Whereas in Cyberpunk, the way you spend your stats is going to massively change how V approaches a problem, at least early on. By the time you hit the end game, like you have enough points that you can be pretty much good at everything. Although the most effective way to play is just pick one thing to really fucking suck at. I didn't put a single point into intelligence.
Yeah, I'm not
So
saying
I didn't do any of the hacking stuff. I went all body, then I went body, tech, and cool.
Yeah,
And then just went around sort of punching people with the gorilla arms, and that was good fun.
And I'm not trying to say like that, like the RPG mechanics are just what bad. I'm just saying like from the RP standards is what I mean. Like they shouldn't have tried to like market it as a Fallout style kind of RPG thing. Which then they should have just went with like a mute protagonist and just left it at that. Which I feel like we should just go back to. We should just go back to mute protagonists for RPGs.
I feel like it's interesting that you brought up Fallout, because Fallout 4 has this exact same problem where your character is pigeonholed into like a certain role because they can only record so many voice lines.
Yeah, and I think that they should, instead of recording main character voice lines, they should just let us be mute, give us more choice and deviation of story choices RPG style wise, where we can kind of like self-insert better. And I think that's just, they kind of just, like I said, like they just, it was like the wrong choice for marketing, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with like having V be their own character, because like V actually is a fully like realized character with or without your input. Like one of the best scenes in the game is when you go to, what's it called? Clouds, and like basically plug your subconscious into a hooker and talk to her.
Yeah. Or him if you made that mistake.
Yes, or him, which I saw like I saw articles being written about people being like, yeah, I thought Angel was the chick, then I just banged a dude. Whoops.
No.
Good job, Forehead.
Good job, yeah. This is a game about transhumanism. Of course there's going to be fucking shit like this. On the topic of silent protagonists, I'm kind of for and against it. I think it depends upon the game.
I think it's great because like fucking dude, Fallout New Vegas is my favorite game of all time. If you couldn't have a voice protagonist,
I had to stop watching a video from Russian Badger because I'm not getting spoilers, even though I already know what kind of happens. You deal with Caesar.
I watched the video you linked of me from him. I have never seen a man unironically stand the Legion so hard.
But the thing is, I had to stop because I was like, no, I want to play this game slowly and methodically all my way through. So I kind of that's where I think it works, is like we're a big open world where it's kind of like you are partaking in it, and you have character stats that you can really change a lot of. It would make more sense for you to do silent characters, whereas like a very heavy narrative driven game, like a good example being Mass Effect,
God of War,
The Witcher, God of War. That's where you have your characters' voice line and stuff like that. Yeah,
but the thing is that what I'm saying is they tried to sell Cyberpunk as like Fallout New Vegas.
I know.
Kind of. I don't know. I feel like the fact that you can't rename your character, like sends a pretty strong signal as to exactly what sort of game that is. But the fact that you can also customize their appearance does put a degree of control in your hands.
It's kind of like a mixed message there, I'd say.
Yeah,
Like,
so I think people were expecting something like that. Wouldn't have hurt them if they had been a bit more clear on exactly like what V was their own character, as opposed to like just like a vehicle for you to pilot around.
They might have intended for it to not be, because there's a lot of things that they said that they wanted
that they did cut.
that
Yeah,
they just
you're
straight
right.
up cut. So I think maybe they initially came into this like, hey, we want this to be more self-insert with a voice, but and then they obviously, since this is, you know, after Witcher, where they had the Witcher stuff, and then like Cyberpunk is like a tabletop game where you do that, they probably were like, uh-oh, we made a mistake.
Oh man, and like that's one of the strongest things about the game, because I've played a little of the original Cyberpunk tabletop game.
I hear it's really good.
Oh, it's bad. No, it's bad. It's awful. The process of like resolving an attack is ridiculous. Comparatively to like more modern games, it's a fucking mess. But it fucking has, like, just reading through the book and like all like the world that like was built for it is fucking great. Like, that's the reason that they decided to make a game off this. I imagine they just really fucking like the universe when like it originally, because like it's like a weirdo Polish developer. They probably just had like access to this game when they were younger and were like, yo, nobody gives a shit about this, we could get the rights to this and make it into a thing. And then they did, and they treat the like, from what I understand, because I was not super into the lore of Cyberpunk prior to this, is that like almost all of the characters are like important legacy character, are all like pre-made characters from like the pre-written modules. Like Johnny Silverhand, Morgan Blackhand, Adam Smasher are all like pre-written characters to get new people into the game.
I can believe that, actually, yeah.
I know that
And they just made them into their own characters for this game. It's so rad. They treat their IP with so much respect.
They brought in the creator, if I remember, and I remember that he was saying that when they were talking about trying to get Keanu for Silverhand, that he was like, yes, do that. That is Silverhand to me. Like, and then when he saw Keanu's performance, he's like, Keanu literally killed it. It was like, that is Silverhand to me.
Like, I've heard, like, here's the thing with me about this game is, and I haven't played yet. I do want to play it when I get like a bit more time, because I'm in school, so I don't have much time as is. And like, I want to play it, but the thing is I've been doing reading on like the background for some of the lore of Cyberpunk, and man, I was like, yo, I love this lore.
Oh, it's ridiculous. They don't include everything, all of the goofy shit. They do have a lot of references to some of the goofier shit. Like, there's an NPC in that game that you can run into on a couple side quests named Ozob, who is just a clown with a grenade in his face.
Did you run
That's like
into
a reference to the old like mutant clown gangs in Cyberpunk 2020.
Did you run into some of the cameo performances that are in the game?
From like YouTubers and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, like I recognized it also almost immediately, because I used to watch Jesse Cox a lot when I was in like junior high and high school. So I recognized him immediately. I lost my shit at that.
Dude, as soon as he started talking, I was like, is that who I think it is? And then his name popped up and it was like, it's spelled exactly the same. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few more that I didn't recognize that I found out about later, but
Yeah, same. If you look at someone and they had like, so like there were a bunch of times where I'm just like, man, this voice actor is not great. They don't sound like they're trained at all.
Or like,
and then like I would like end up going looking up. It's like, oh, they're just like some streamer, right?
Yeah, or the mic quality was completely different. There was like a few of them where like the just the quality of audio was just so much different, and you're like, why is this audio so different? And then you like look up the character, and it's
looks
like,
a little
it's
weird,
cameo.
and it's like, oh, because it's based on a real face. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've run into a couple. I didn't recognize all of them. I looked up a couple afterwards, but Jesse Cox was the only one I realized. His voice acting is pretty on point because he actually, was a voice actor at one point. Oh man.
And he's done more than this before for other games.
He has, yes. I'm aware. But yeah, I run into a couple of things like that. I don't know. It's pretty cute that they let people come in and voice characters. Some definitely worked better than others, but nothing was like a deal breaker.
I do love the fact that they also made reference to a bunch of other little IPs and stuff like that. Because I've seen the picture of the three sheet. Fuck.
You okay, Allan?
Seashells, yeah. And my
yes, that's just a reference that's in your apartment.
Yeah.
Like that's in V's bathroom.
Is it really? I didn't see it. Oh man.
Well, it's kind of I didn't even notice V's toilet initially because you had it's around the corner in your by your shower. Mm-hmm. So I didn't notice it initially, but if you go in there, he's got the 3 shells.
Do you see the blue pill reference?
Oh, with the that one mission during Chippin' In?
No, it's right in the beginning of the game. Or not in the beginning of the game. It's right after spoiler beginning game part.
It's
It's when you're back in your yeah. It's when you're back in your apartment when the Misty is giving you the 2 pills.
Well, okay, except one of those pills is orange.
It looked red to me.
It's orange, dude. Don't even trip. That bottle that she gives you is orange. There is a red pill, blue pill reference later, but it's not till way later in the game.
I mean,
you
that
probably
still
haven't run into it yet.
seems acceptable in my case for the blue pill, red pill reference, though.
Okay, but I feel it's kind of a reference, but there's a degree of separation means that it's probably not a reference, especially when there is a reference that is obviously a reference to that same thing later in the game.
I see.
Yeah, you will run into it. It's one of the parts where you play as Johnny.
I guess if there's a more blatant one, then I guess so. But from me playing it and what I've seen so far, that felt like the reference to me.
It is. Yeah, no, it's not even. No, it's later in the game.
Or maybe it just give me a recurring theme, and it's just is a continuing reference. Maybe. Maybe they intended to do it twice because it's relating to Johnny at the same time.
Well,
you know what I mean?
those the pills Misty gives you are pretty integral to the plot. You end up using them a couple of times depending on the side quests you do and the ending you want to go for.
The only time I ended up even having the options to so far is after
during story moments.
Yeah, it was the second before the 2 main quests that you get after that. I'm trying to be as vague as possible.
Yeah, they only become relevant during story moments.
Okay.
There's no actual despite the urgency of the main plot, there is no actual timeline that you have to stick to in order to get through the story.
So if I do
which is good because
a bunch of side quests,
a lot. Oh yeah, just fuck around as much as you want. That's what I did.
So then if I do main story quests, it's not oh, you've been taking too long, so fuck you.
I hit level 50 street cred almost because I did everything in Watson before I did the Arasaka Tower job. So I already had gorilla arms. I was good to go from the get go. I fucking choke slammed a mech with my huge fists. Going full body, especially in the beginning of that game, is hilariously fun because you just punch dudes out. They have guns and you just punch them out.
I was doing shotguns, so I had full body, but I wasn't punching things.
Mm-hmm. The shotguns are also rather entertaining. Have you gotten your hands on a good Carnage yet?
Well, the problem is that I was using shotguns, and the thing is but I felt they just weren't as good as the other stuff. Everything else just felt so much stronger. And even though it was so much fun,
well, I mean, it depends on the drops you get. No, okay, so let me just walk you through this.
I would get decent damaging stuff, and then but then I would switch to just a different gun without having any stats for it, and do twice as much damage. I'm just why is my a legendary shotgun doing less damage than this tech sniper rifle that I don't
Because
have
every
any tech
item
for.
in that game, every item in that game has a level.
Yeah, no, they were equivalent level, equivalent rarity, and one I had stats for and perks for, and the one I didn't, and the one that I didn't was just like dominating, and it just didn't make any sense to me.
The damage calculation in that game is not super specific. I have tried to do like tests on like how much certain perks affect damage, but there seems to be so many different things proccing depending on like where you hit enemies or if you get a crit or whether certain abilities are activated or deactivated, that trying to calculate damage over any one thing is next to fucking impossible. That being said, as far as shotguns go, as soon as I got the crafting spec for a legendary Carnage, I needed no other weapon in the game, because the thing that Carnage does is it has a very slow fire rate and a horrible fucking reload speed, but it fires 20 pellets on every shot. And when you attach a mod that adds flat damage to your guns, it applies it to every pellet. So if I have like a crunch mod or a Pax mod that gives like +6 damage on between 20 shells, that adds just 120 damage, and I can stack multiple of those on the gun. So I just sort of rolled over most of the game with that.
That sounds really broken, actually.
It is, quite frankly, ridiculous. Almost nothing can survive the full blast. Anything weaker than like a really tough enemy isn't going to survive half a blast. Moreover, you can get fire on the gun, so even if you clip a guy, he falls over and is on fire and just sort of burns to death on the ground.
Yeah, the game isn't difficult, and it's not balanced to be difficult either. No. Like if you are even like half competent at video games, the game is easy. And that's another sticking point that has. The game is just too easy. Even like it's. But the thing is, like, if you start on the hardest difficulty from the start, it's almost statistically impossible to beat. But if you switch to it later,
the only time I ever struggled was like right at the beginning.
Yeah, and then after like your first like couple hours and you start getting a build going, you're unstoppable, and the difficulty never returns.
I mean, that might also be down to the fact that you and me were both leveling body, and like once you get enough points in body, you are very tough.
Well, even
by the end of the game, I had like nigh on 1,000 health. I had well over 1,000 armor. I had a bunch of things that caused my regeneration to spike in or out of combat. Things that regenerated my health when I fired shotguns or killed people or hit them with melee attacks or what have you.
Even if you don't do it on health regen and a health-based build, it's still there isn't any actual difficulty. It's just and even if something could chew through all that, there are mods that if you've got enough body, you just refill your health when you go below a certain threshold. There's a cyber called Second Heart where if you hit 0, you will just refill, and it's on a 2-minute cooldown. That's it. Yeah, it's just not that hard, and I think and I don't even think like bullet sponging the enemies would even do it. No. Well, the AI is just kind of dumb, which is like a reasonable complaint people have about the game, is that the enemies are kind of retarded. I don't even know if it's just the enemies are retarded, because like they do try to like force you out of a position or other things. It's just, I don't know. I've had multiple times where they've just gotten like stuck in a logic loop and then been like, I'm going to fight you, and then just like sort of dance around a bit. I mean, that might just be bugs. Most of the time they shoot at me just fine. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell how much of a fight things are putting up when you're running at them with a giant sledgehammer and hitting them once and then their head explodes. Yeah, that too. Which, by the way, the sledgehammer is ridiculous. A properly powered up sledgehammer is ridiculous. I found out that there's like a melee weapons vendor in Pacifica who always sells a legendary sledgehammer. So I just went back to him occasionally and picked up a new one, and that was a pretty easy way to face roll the game.
All right, we've talked about Cyberpunk for a solid 10 minutes now. I think Josh wants to talk about a game though.
I got a fucking indie game to talk about, like I always do.
All right, how many dicks does it have in it?
Surprisingly, well,
Four hairy dicks. I know what game he's talking about. Because I've seen people play it, and I kind of want to play it with a group of 4.
Oh, is it a multiplayer thing? What is it?
It is a multiplayer.
Yeah.
It is.
I've talked about it before, but I'll brush on it because it's the Deep Rock
Galactic.
Deep Rock Galactic.
Oh, that's the one where you play. Isn't that the one where you play Space Dwarves?
Yes.
Yep.
And that's what I said.
Very
4
good.
hairy dicks.
Oh man, we're talking about Space Dwarves again.
No, like again, I'm gonna brush on it because I've been playing it more and more, and again, it seems like every time I play, there's always something new, and this time there's fucking ghost space bugs that you can't kill, and they're always tracking you. So now there's a challenge of like, before it wasn't too bad, and you're trying to
the entire
get your
point of the
minerals.
game is that you're like a bunch of space dwarves on like an asteroid trying to mine as much shit as you can before you have to leave or get killed.
Exactly. Yeah. And so far, I think that me, Noah, and Noah. Hold on.
Wow, you know who's the nut. Wow, it's really easy to tell who you don't actually like that much in your friend group there, Josh.
No, I'm just terrible with names. I'll get it.
You can't even remember them.
I'll get it. Anyway. Playing with Deep Rock and like new things constantly pop up in that game where now I have a trading station and also fucking ghost spiders happen. They fucking track you everywhere. You have to deal with them and also try to get all your minerals and shit and get out.
Yeah.
So it's like someone basically, I was bait the entire time so everyone else could go mine. So I was like, okay guys, I'll see you later. Bye. Just constantly trying to get the attention of the stupid thing so everyone else could do their job. It was interesting, although it is kind of annoying because if it's on you, you're fucked. And if you don't know where it is, because you start hearing the booming sounds and you're like, I don't know where it's coming from. It could be from the ceiling. I need to run away. And it also got a trading station, which is cool. Although there's not much to do with it other than getting your upgrade materials for like extra cash that you have.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Although there's like a bunch of stuff about making beer, which I don't think I really tapped into. Although I thought the beer station is going to be something like, oh, you get drunk, you go on your space mission, and then you're going to have to deal with your drunkenness. No, it's more of like you get this one beer, does one passive, and that's it. And I was like, too bad it wasn't like you had 3 beers, you went on your mission, and then you're like, okay, I constantly turn to the left, and also my character wobbles.
That sounds like the worst.
That sounds like bad game design.
But your buffs, though, would be like twice the gold and twice the minerals or something. So it'd be like, it would be well worth it, but oh god.
So you're thinking, so it's a bunch of passive buffs, and you were thinking it was going to be like a challenge mode type deal.
Yeah,
I mean, in a game like that, I imagine that they'll add like a challenge mode type deal later on.
Yeah, I mean, the game's been out for like a while, and they've been always adding updates. So I envision it with something like that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and like so far, I'm actually trying to get my secondary weapon for my engineer. Apparently my main weapon is a gun that shoots fire. It's a flamethrower, and my second main weapon is actually a crypto gun. So I'm like, what the hell is a crypto? It's like, this freezes everything. I'm like, that's interesting. Although I wonder, I can freeze everything and then try to beat them with my pistol, and then I would probably shatter them. That would be pretty cool.
Your lust for murder is powerful, Josh.
Just see them shatter would be great. Oh god, some of those bugs are assholes too. The ones I hate the most are when they shoot their spider goo on you, their webbing. I think it's a purple monster. I keep forgetting the name of it. But god, that fucks me up so much because I'd be like doing stuff, then I get shot with the goo. I'd be like, where the fuck is it coming from? And they're like snipers from off the wall from across the room that's 10 miles away. You're like, God, fuck you, asshole. Fucking asshole. It's just the game knows. The game just knows. And also I played a second game. The second game, I'll just move into the second game. The freaking Manifold Garden, which I've seen been advertised on Steam a little bit. And yeah, it's definitely very artsy and hipster. And also it's going into that kind of antechamber type of, it's the game. Yeah, aesthetic and like abstract is all get out, and you're trying to solve these weird abstract puzzles.
This looks like Antechamber a lot. I'm just Googling it now.
Yeah, I would say there are a lot of similarities. The only difference is that this one it has gravity mechanics, and also you're dealing with the infinite. You're the way to explain it is that, okay, let's say you're in a locale, you're on a huge spike, and you need to get to a platform that's like really far away. There's no way you can jump to it. Fall off the platform, and you're constantly traveling. You're falling downward, but you're using the fall to get to your other platform because there's no fall damage. So you're traveling the infinite distance to get to that platform, and then you're like, oh, I can keep continuing with the puzzle because everything's looping together.
Like you fall out the bottom of the map and you come out the top?
Sort of. The way the game shows it is that you're infinitely falling. Like,
yeah, but you essentially go to the bottom of the map and then come out the top. Is what you're saying.
I mean, yeah, if you want to explain it that way, yeah. But I mean, the way the game shows it though is that because the game's so lo-fi, it just shows that like instead of a portal just showing like a little hole in the wall of what the infinite looks like, no, it's everywhere is the infinite. So you're seeing.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Looking at the aesthetic of this, it just keeps looping. Yeah.
It keeps looping over and over. So you're using the fall mechanics. There's another mechanic where if you go up to a wall and hit spacebar, you walk up that wall, and the gravity still affects you the same way it does before, but now you're on the wall. So you're like, oh, maybe I can get to that weirder, harder place to get to because I'm on the wall. You jump off, and you're like,
Well, it looks neat.
Yeah, there's a couple of times in that game though because you fall such long distances. I just clench my butthole every time. I'm like,
because it's not first person then, huh?
Oh, it's first person. It's just
okay.
that like, if you have fear of heights, this might not be the game of you for you.
Remember, you are both short and stout, and you are falling from a greater height than you would normally be falling from as a short and stout person.
We have switched games. We are no longer talking about the dwarf game. We are now talking about the puzzle game.
You're talking about a puzzle game.
I kind of like zoned out there for a minute.
It's good because I've already heard about the dwarf game. I wasn't even thinking about it anymore. I was like, all right, they're not going to go talk about, 2 podcasts or 3 podcasts ago now, and I'm just like, I'm just going to click my brain
Allan
off.
just likes thinking about dwarves because he himself is a manlet.
I'm not that short.
Yeah,
I'm
you are.
5'4". I am not 5'4". I'm 5'9", 5'10", and you know
Holy
it.
shit.
You're still short, Allan. You're still short by women's standards, unfortunately.
Allan, you're under 6 foot. You're a manlet.
Exactly.
In pro wrestling standards, I'm short.
What?
For what's the height of Rey Mysterio? He's 5 something, and he looks like me. He looks miniature.
He's tiny. Anyways, yeah, no, sorry. I kind of toned out because I was fixing something in the background. Sorry.
You were thinking about dwarves. We get it.
No, I wasn't. I was actually fixing something in the background.
How dare you?
You gotta give everybody a chance to talk, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I rambled about fucking Wall Street. There is something I want to ramble about this week, but I'm not gonna.
All right. Well, unless Josh has anything else he wants to say about Manifold
Garden. It's very good, very hipster. Puzzles will definitely stretch your logic a bit.
And no dicks, which is a rare for a game Josh likes.
I know. I wish there was more. I mean, you could possibly have a dick in this, I guess, but it'd be weird. Oh, and also one thing to add, photo mode. A really good photo mode in the game. I made so many desktop wallpapers out of it. It's so good.
Why does this game look like it's made by the guys who made
Antechamber.
No, not the Antechamber. Fuck.
Fuck 'em?
Yeah, I know, right? Fucking goddamn it.
I don't know. Unfinished Swan?
You when you move, time moves with you.
Super hot.
Super hot. Thank you. Fucking.
I'd say that's a much more tenuous connection than Antechamber.
No, it just looks like that. What I mean is it's got the same kind of aesthetic.
Dude, I love Super Hot.
Hey,
I remember when that game
My brother has that on.
came out
my brother
originally
has
as
that
a
on
Flash
VR.
game.
Hey, Allan, I looked at the height of Rey Mysterio. It's 5'6".
Oh
You're
god.
3 inches higher. He looks short in the ring. Like,
Well,
God.
it's because like the vast majority of the wrestlers are like 6'2",
Huge,
6'3", 6 foot.
Yeah,
Like,
real people
Rory-
heights.
Real people heights.
So
You know, adult heights, not children heights.
all women are all women and all men under the height of 6 feet are Untermensch, aren't they?
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, I haven't done much this week other than the Wall Street stuff, but I have been watching. Actually, before I go on my little ramble about a TV series I've been watching, Ben, is there anything you've been up to recently?
I played far too much Path of Exile for 2 weeks. Again with the RimWorld, and I started playing for the King because Leslie got me to buy it, and I was like, "Hey, this is kind of awesome," and now I want to play it a lot more.
I love RimWorld.
Yeah,
I haven't played that. I haven't played it in so long.
I'm like,
I should go back to that.
let's tweak my mod list and make it not so incredibly insane. And I'm like, all right, let's cut some mods. And I'm like, all right, now I gotta add these new vanilla extended mods, and I'm right back where I started. And I have 190, and I'm like, God damn it.
190 mods, holy shite.
Yeah, that's kind of like almost like 100 of them are like my must-haves, just because like it's like QL quality of life and just like fixing stuff that I just don't like dealing with. Like I pretty much have like 8 mods for storage because I hate this stupid just throwing all your junk on the ground bullshit that game has.
Understandable.
And then I have like 3 or 4 tweak mods that like patch things, like the royalty tweaks, a couple like bulk pattern ones that they don't have in the base game, and then it's just extra stuff, just like more animals, more more textures, and more floors and all this other stuff. So I just have like more stuff to play with, and then I'm just like, all right, well now it's game changing stuff, and I'm just like, I have like 6 of those, and I'm like. Why do I have so many mods? And then I started scrolling through and I'm like, oh yeah, because I can't live without any of these.
Too used to them. Understandable.
And like even when I go back to look and I'm like, I need to like cut down these mods, and it's just I can't bring myself to do it. I'm just like, why? And then I give myself very valid reasons of why I don't get rid of these mods. And then there I am, 190 mods, and it takes me like nearly 10 minutes to start the game. Legitimately, that's how long it takes. It takes 10 minutes to load the initial game.
Yeah, fair enough.
I have an SSD too, which is even more insane. I couldn't imagine having a regular hard drive.
10 minutes. Whoa. Whoa. That's a spicy time.
Yeah, I don't.
All right, well, I mean, I guess you can. You
I just
watch some
having,
YouTube in the meantime.
I
or
open the
something.
game and I go make myself a cup of coffee. By the time I'm back, I'm in the main menu.
I thought modding my Binding of Isaac was like kind of sacrilegious, but it gets to a point of like, just tell me what the fuck it does. I don't want to look it up on Wikipedia over and over and over. Man, it does make things a hell of a lot easier, but at the same time, it's like you can still get fucked like every time. So it's like,
I do think the what the item does description when you pick it up mod for Isaac is pretty nice. Not gonna lie.
I know. I thought,
I can believe that, yeah.
yeah, it's such a saver. I'm like, oh man, not telling you what the pills do, that's fine, because you need to pick it up and just figure out what it does anyways, unless you have a buff before the pills. And I'm thinking, if you run into a new item, it shouldn't tell you what it is until you pick it up and use it. I'm like, that makes sense. It's just everything else. It's like, just tell me what the fuck it does, please. I'm so confused if this is the good one or the bad one. You pick it up and you're fucked. And you're like, I had a good run. I had a good run.
Or like you've never seen soy milk before, and you finally have a decent run. You're like, yay! And you pick up soy milk, and then you're just like, all right, let me just kill
fuck
myself.
Soy milk so hard. Yeah, fuck soy milk so
what does
hard.
soy milk do?
Max.
What do you think soy milk does?
Max fire speed but it lowers your range by a ton and it just tanks your damage. It also removes the cap on like fire speed or whatever. So like,
Yep.
you're just
You can hammer the button. You can fire that fast, but you can hold it and have like a charge blast. I think.
no, that's chocolate milk.
No. Oh, that's chocolate milk. Okay. Yeah. Soy milk is even worse.
Yes, soy milk is the max speed and range down and massive damage down. So basically, it'll take you from like 3 damage to like 0.5. But it maxes out your attack speed, and then you can break the caps of an attack speed. So pretty much there's no cap on attack speed when you take soy milk. It literally maxes it out for like the engine or whatever. So then like, in some ways it can be good, but 98% of the time when you take soy milk, it's just bad because you lose all of your damage, and then it takes you 10 years to kill anything.
Fair enough. Do you have to press the button to like keep pressing the button to fire? Or can you hold down?
You hold it
max
down.
fire
You can hold
rate?
it down.
Okay, good. That's not too bad then. I thought you had to just like fucking hammer it just to get value out.
Yeah, there's some weapons that it's like, oh, you can either charge it or you get to keep tapping like a motherfucker. And of course, I'm like, oh, I should charge this. This should be a good idea. And then I realize how much I suck. So I'm like, no, I'm tapping this button like a fucking maniac.
Chocolate milk. Where's the...
yeah, it's always chocolate milk.
and Brimstone's a charge, too.
Yeah, actually, I had a run where I was playing one of the challenges, and I was orbital or something like your tears run around you in a circle. And I was playing that, and I was like, oh, this is kind of tough and it's kind of shitty, but whatever, I can do it. And I got the pickup where it turns those little itty bitty tears into fucking coins, where it gives you a 5% chance of getting a coin. I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm shooting hundreds of these things. I'm rich. I'm like, yeah, we can do this now.
Get the value.
Oh, it's like, it was such a game breaking moment right there. I'm like, I can do anything I want.
I can break this game.
I can break this game. You can't break that game.
I guess you've never had a blank card Yara break, huh? Or what's the one that doubles the items on the ground?
Oh, yeah, like one of the runes can double the pickups, and then one of the items in the store can also double the stuff in the room, like pedestals and whatever. So if you can get it, if you get in the right combo, you find the 50%, you find the Steam sale, and then you're like, wait, I remember seeing that double thing in the fucking.
So you refresh the shop, and then you keep doubling, and then you keep just gaining all the free shop stuff, and then you just say you grab a battery, you grab the money, you grab the battery, you grab the money.
Yep, exactly. Or you get real lucky, you get the restock, and then they get the chaos, and you're like, well, game's over. I got everything. Yep. Fuck you. Like, oh, God. I love how you get the subject just busted over your knee, and you're like, yeah. Fucking ultimate, or what was his name? Satan? Ultimate Satan? Like, he's fucked.
Mega Satan.
He can't deal with it. He can't deal with it. He's fucked.
I haven't even unlocked the chest yet. From what I was playing, I only was able to go to Sheol and just fight regular Satan.
Yeah, you need to fight the Angel Room and Satan Room pedestals, because you need to put a bomb right in front of them. They'll activate, and you get a little mini boss fight, and you get the keys for it to go into the last level boss.
Yeah, well, I was still in the part where it was like when you first started playing the game, and the game ends at the heart.
Yeah.
And then you go in the chest, and then eventually there's a part where you kill the heart, and you can go to the dark room.
Yeah,
and that was as far as I was getting. I wasn't getting to pick the Polaroids yet.
Oh, I see.
So I didn't even get to that far yet.
You know, yeah, I've if anything, I've been playing the game just like off and on for how long's that game been out for? Years?
For a long time. There's a new expansion coming out
like
soon.
Yonks, yeah.
Yeah, I have 337 hours in this game, and I have almost 50% of achievements.
Jesus Christ!
There's 403 achievements.
You're like, oh, I have so many hours in this game, and then I look, and I'm like, oh yeah, let me look at my Path of Exile hours, 1,200. and then I look at my my Elder. No, suppose there's another game. 979 hours in RimWorld.
Rory casually looks at his Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
How many hours do you have in Final Fantasy 14?
According to Steam, let me check.
Where do you look for that activity?
On Steam, you just go into go to blah 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 blah. Go to it in your library, and it'll tell you. And that
You have
2,059.2 hours in Final Fantasy, according to Steam. Although some of that I definitely had Steam turned off. It's probably more than that. There's a playtime calculator in the game itself, where if you type /playtime, it will tell you how long you've played. But the thing is, it tells you in days.
Yeah.
So you're just like, oh, I've played for a total of like 70-something days. Oh, no.
So the last time I played Dota 2 was, I think it was 2017, or maybe, or it might have been 2016. I don't remember. But I had so many hours in Dota 2 that I just literally passed it probably this week with Path of Exile. I had 1,100 hours in Dota 2. It was my most played game. And I hadn't played it in 3 years. Mm-hmm. It's insane how much I used to play Dota.
For a top 5 games on playtime, Warframe, 396. Binding of Isaac, right behind it with 337.
Warframe, I probably spent an inordinate amount of time in as well, but I never launched it through Steam.
I have
so that's not
700 hours in Warframe.
I'd have to go into the actual game.
Team Fortress 2, I know I dumped a lot of hours in that, but that's only 146. And then Divinity Origin of Sin 2, that's 126 hours.
My top played games I haven't played in years. Like Payday 2, I have 250 hours. TF2, 365 hours. Skyrim, 435 hours.
There's only so much time you can invest in one game, right?
Yeah, I have Evo Online, which I haven't played in over 4 years at 451
I
hours.
Back to Warframe.
I don't think I can. I put so much money into Warframe, and I keep trying to go back, but like I think I'm at a point where it's like, I actually
You just don't care anymore.
No, I'm at the point where the only thing I've left is like decent group combat or content, just like start like ramping up to do crazy end game stuff, and I'm just like, I don't want to do Eidolon hunts because I don't want to put that pressure on myself of having to actually fulfill a role to do Eidolon hunts. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm good on that because I had to do Eidolon hunts in order to boost
to get into a lot of content in Warframe is fucking staggering.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm so late to it that if I go in, I'm like, I've never done Eidolon hunts before. They're gonna be like, you fucking scrub.
Hey, look, bud, I've never done Eidolon hunts before. I'll be incompetent with you. We can be incompetent together.
Yeah, because the biggest thing I wanted is I wanted to start leveling my operator, and I never. Yeah. And since I haven't done any of that, I'm like,
it's such a pain in the ass to get started with it.
Yeah.
Like the one that they initially get you is garbage, and it takes so long to get one that isn't.
I'm like I said, I'm ready, and then at that point where I'm ready to grind for the next gun, and I had it all planned out and everything, and I was getting ready to do it. I even made like an Eidolon hunting build, and I'm like, I don't want to do it.
And then you just stop playing. Yep, exact same shit as me, dude.
But it was just because I didn't want to.
I just don't
pug. I didn't want to pug Eidolon hunts. I didn't. It's like,
yeah, too.
I'm just like, man, I don't have to join a guild. I don't have to join a clan and like pug Eidolon hunts. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to deal with people.
Understandable. I just have so much and just like playing around with the operators isn't all that fun, right? It's just kind of lame. I like
mind
playing in the frame a lot more, you know.
I mean, I like doing it for the fashion more than I like actually like playing the game. I kind of just like looking cool.
Like there's just a certain center in my brain that gets tickled when like I'm playing Nidus and I catch like 8 dudes with the tentacles and then just start stomping away.
I'm sorry, what?
There's one of my favorite frames is Nidus. He is a boy that makes tentacles.
Okay. Oh,
Because he's like this weird infected frame. One of his second ability is to fire a ball that like it flies a certain distance and then it just stops, and then it fires out a bunch of tentacles at all enemies in range and then just pulls them together into a big cuddle puddle. And your first ability is like this wave that you stomp out, and you get energy back to you depending on how many enemies you hit. I think you have to get hit 4 enemies. in order to get back the same amount of energy that you put in. But if you hit more than that, it's positive, so you just keep generating energy. And also, every time you hit an enemy with that ability, you gain portions of your stacks, which gives you like a bunch of powers with Nidus, which increase the damage of his first one, and also give you like the ability to use your later ones. Like you need one stack in order to tether to an ally or to an enemy, which grants you either a damage boost between you and the ally, or shunts a bunch of your damage off on the enemy, which makes you very hard to kill. And then you need like you have to spend 3 stacks in order to do to use your ultimate, which just like covers like the arena in this giant weird fungal growth that spawns a bunch of like these little.
So you're saying this is Mr. Hentai?
Kind of, yeah.
No, that's Hydroid. What are you talking about?
Yeah, true. True facts. Hydroid is the one who makes...
Is the OG Slapmaster.
Yeah, like Nidus has tentacles, but Hydroid is the tentacle man.
He's literally the Cthulhu frame.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite frame is Harrow.
My favorite frame is Gauss. I love Gauss.
I want Harrow Prime.
So fucking fun. Oh god, Gauss Prime is not coming out for a while. Nidus Prime is coming out soonish, and Nidus is like my second favorite frame.
I think my favorite frame in that game is still Rhino, because you can just tank anything and I suck. So
if you want to face tank the game, Inaris, 1000%. Yeah, Inaris will never die.
Well, I mean, okay, so with the right Rhino setup, Rhino will also never die.
I think
want to get that
like
easier. Augmented mod, kind of. And like, okay, so the thing is that if you can get like if you have a way to pull a bunch of enemies together, and then you use that augment that gives you like a percentage armor based on how many enemies you hit with your charge, and then use your armor, you can easily get like thousands and thousands of armor. It's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, but Inaris just has so much HP regen. It doesn't matter how much armor he has; he just heals everything.
No, but like nothing can kill you in one shot ever.
Yeah, I guess
that's hard to do to Inaros, but not impossible.
Wait, didn't they rework armor recently? So that might be different now for Rhino.
No, okay. Sorry, armor. I meant because Rhino gives you like over armor. It gives you like basically extra health on top. But the amount you get it depends on your armor. Rhino doesn't have that much base armor. It's all about like stacking his armor so that you can get more stuff out of his iron skin.
Yeah,
iron skin is what I meant.
Of course, most people will just be like, "I'll just kill it all before it hits you." It's like, but
yes, that is also a good way to do it. I mean, that's why I like Gauss, because he goes fast, like just like base. He's the fast frame, but also like his defensive ability is just you can get up to 100% damage reduction.
Volt would like to have a word with you.
Volt can make me go faster.
Yeah, but Volt is just faster than Gauss, though.
No.
It's solo with the right mods, Volt can go faster.
With base.
No.
No. Like he's got a faster...
For sure.
Okay. Yeah, because his speed can scale off of power strength. But, like, Gauss is, like, faster in straightaways. And like Volt, and can benefit from the same buffs as Volt.
Yeah, but then again, because most maps the way they are, Volt is just better on 90% of them. Unfortunately, Gauss is better in the open world.
Like in terms of like getting around.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, yeah, but like Gauss is a lot harder to kill. Plus, has like decent, like really good crowd control. And fucking, like, his ultimate just makes his guns better. And guns are better for damage than Warframes.
My Volt would still love to have a word with you. My Volt Prime is nearly unkillable.
Sure, I am straight up unkillable on Gauss.
I'm just saying, I'm just as unkillable as...
I'm just saying, you're shit. You're like, no.
Ladies,
you're shit. You're old. You're washed up. You're old man. This is my time.
Load up the game and go play it. See who lives longer.
I want to dump an hour into a survival right now.
Yeah. If I was going survival, I'd play Nidus, though. Nidus is my boy in survival.
Hera's for me in survival.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we just keep rambling about games. Do we have another topic?
I want to talk about the thing that I was going to talk about before I kind of like had to like let you guys go off on your little ramble. I was going to jump on the mod thing. I actually put a mod on a game. I really just want to quickly wrap back around to the mod thing really quickly. I've never done this before except for this one game. I had to mod it to be the AI so it wouldn't cheat constantly. And I'm like, it's like, oh yeah, you're playing on hard difficulty. Of course it's gonna cheat. Like I wouldn't be mad about that. Except I'm playing on normal, and the game is cheating so hard.
What game is this?
Warhammer 2.
Warhammer Total War 2?
Yeah, Warhammer Total War 2. You're like, oh hey, yeah, no, I'm playing this faction. I can have an army, maybe, with 3 provinces, or 3 states, which makes a province. With a province, and I'll be like, all right, I can do this. It won't be that bad. Sure, fine, whatever. And then you look to an AI, which will have a single state with 4 full stack armies standing around that city, and you're like, what the fuck? And it's not even like all tier 1s. It's like mid tier and high tier units you'll sometimes find like this. And you're just like,
yeah, then they'll doom stack you.
And you'll be like, I'm playing a game for strategy, and the AI is cheating so hard to the point where I was like, I'm actually in a mod group called which the group is called technically it's called SFO, but it's Grimhammer, and it's a rebalance of the game. It doesn't fix all the problems, but it's like, well, I was like, all right, I'm tired of the AI cheating on me super hard. What's a mod that I can do this to fix this? And they're like, yeah, it'll make the game way easier. I'm like, if it's making the game way easier because the AI is cheating, then that means the game is broken. And they're like, that's a fair point. And I was like, just give me the mod. And I've actually installed it. I'm like, I'm having so much more fun here. I'm not being fucking bullied constantly.
The same thing happened to me when I was playing Divinity Original Sin for the first time. Because first thing I did was make a skeleton character, because of course I did. And every enemy in the game instantly identifies you as a skeleton character and immediately uses all their healing magic on you. Like immediately, no question. And it's like, I'm fucking disguised. God damn it.
Yeah, I know. Like that's been like, and
it turns out it's because the enemies all have like maxed lore master stats for some reason.
I remember you telling me about that when we were playing that. Me, you, Ren, and
yes, that's why the playthroughs that I've done with you guys have had that mod installed that like lowers the lore master requirement on most enemies. But like important enemies who are like supposed to be smart will still be able to recognize you for what you are.
Yeah. But the thing is here's the thing: is like I'm a big strategy fan guy. I love playing strategy games that have like really deep thing, but I'm playing on normal. I'm not even playing like a legendary difficulty. I'm just playing normal just to fucking chill out and play a strategy game. And the AI is cheating on me and dabbing on me like, oh, look at this 4 stack army, and it's just like, I'm like, guys, this isn't a good game design. Stop. It's sucking the fun out of this game where I have to fight 4 doomstack armies at the start of turn 10.
Wait, was it Skaven?
No.
I was gonna say, because like I can understand, because the Skaven are programmed in order to pump out as many lords and as many armies of slaves as possible.
Well, the thing is, the Skaven are easy to deal with on normal. I'm okay with fighting Skaven with their 4 doom stacks of just clan rats and Skaven slaves. I'll deal with that, except for fucking Clan Ashen, because fuck Clan Ashen.
Go.
But
don't you talk about Skaven?
This was. But well, no, I love Skaven. Except for Clan Ashen, because Clan Ashen, every character has auto ambush.
That's true.
And you'll be like, all right, like, and my problem with it is just like, okay, I wouldn't mind if the ambush mechanic was balanced, but it's so fucking broken to the point where it's just like, oh, I'm attacking this. I'm going to move my army forward, and I guess I'm getting ambushed. And you don't get to choose. It's just like, oh, yeah, your army is deleted because you, like, clan rats come out of nowhere with fucking warp fire cannons. And you're just like,
you
all right.
technically can win ambushes. It's just very difficult.
it's disgustingly hard. I would be okay with that, but Clan Eshin is even worse for it because, like I said, they'll have warp fire cannons and they'll spawn and they'll be right next to your units, and it's like, and the unit's broken within 2 seconds. How do you win that?
Well,
that's Clan Eshin's mechanic, and I'm not mad about that. That's the reason why I usually just auto resolve most fucking fights like that with Eshin.
wait, if you're near Eshin, are you playing Tomb Kings?
No, I'm playing in the Mortal Empires campaign.
Yeah.
When I've played Grimgore, and I've played my 3 major factions that I normally play are Empire, Dwarves, and Bretonnia. But I do play the Orcs, and the Orcs, I'm like, oh, the Orcs are just fucking broken because they got the scrap mechanic and stuff like that. This is me being over-exaggerating now. And then I hit Eshin, and then I was just like, I'm playing an Orc army, and I'm fighting a single Skaven stack. How am I losing this? With, like, tier units of, like, tier 3 or 4 units, and I'm losing to Skaven slaves and some warp fire throwers. To the point where I was just like...
That's just the like annoying part about like dealing with Skaven is that they retreat and they come back.
Oh, that's the reason why I like fighting. It's the reason why I like fighting Clan Moors, Clan Rictus, Clan Peasant. I love fighting all the other ones. I'll enjoy that. Clan Eshin's the only one I have a beef with.
Well, you also know that they can't. That they, besides the slaves, they can't recruit like jack else for like forever.
Oh, but. Well, that's the thing is, like, they'll still end up with, like, well, it's not they can't recruit other stuff. It's just more expensive. But because the AI is still cheating, oh, look, I've now got a stack of 5 warp fire throwers, 14 Skaven slingers, and the Lord of Eshin in a stack. And you're just like, how do you stop that? They pop out, they whip their first shot, they immediately take off half your morale, and then the warp fires hit your units, and it just, oh, there goes the rest of your morale. The AI is, and again, I wouldn't have a problem with the AI cheating a bit if it wasn't so blatant. It's like a province. You own a province. How do you have 4 Doom stacks in a province? You don't even have the economy for that if you built, if like it. And again, this is the reason why I've kind of like turned around and like installed that one mod of stop the AI cheating. Period. But yeah. I got one other thing to talk about this week, though. Mostly kind of its development this week. And that is, I'm almost done watching Iron Blood Orphans Season 2.
I only watched the first season. I got bored after that. I know Jeff loves it.
I only watched the first couple episodes and I forgot to watch it again.
Yeah. I sort of just got bored, like, after watching a few episodes of the second season.
I thought it was interesting. I just had other things to watch.
Oh, God, no. Rory, if like, you know how, like, Season 2 starts, where they're like, oh, hey, there's pirates, and they're coming after your station, stuff like that?
I barely remember. This was years ago.
Yeah, I know. So, all day today, while I've been, like, painting in the background and stuff like that, relaxing before I do schoolwork, I've been watching Iron Blood Orphans. And I'm already contentious about Iron Blood Orphans. I like Barbados' design. I think it's over-designed, but that's just me. I'm not a fan of all like the lore of the world. I'm not a fan of how like the geopolitical state of the world is. It's kind of like really bland, very empty, kind of like not built up very well. And I was like, well, Jeff said there will be a lot more in Season 2. There's not. There really isn't. And like I was like, oh, well, we know who the unassailable character is. It's McGillis. So and like I started Season 2 today, and I was just like, I was watching how his interaction with the main characters. I don't even remember their names at this point. I know McGillis because I actually like McGillis because he's an interesting character. The rest are kind of boring and bland.
You're really not inspiring me to go back and watch this again.
Well, again, it's because like I was like I'm watching, and I'm like, when's McGillis gonna betray Tekino or Tekina, whatever the company's name is? When is he gonna turn evil? When is he gonna like expand his master plan? When is the lore behind the Gundams? Because the Gundam lore also is just retarded. 99 of these machines were built to fight full mobile armors, and I was like, okay, that's like to prevent the calamity and stuff like that. And I was like, that's a really cool idea. Like the Gundams were like the final solution to the problem, whatever the problem was. Oh, they were mobile armors, and I was just like, all right, let's see what they mean by mobile armors. Oh, AIs that are just designed to destroy humans. Okay. All right, there's problems with this, but let's carry on. Oh, well, it's just a mobile armor that's deactivated. And a single mobile suit comes just a touch too close, and it activates. I was like, these things were all supposed to be defeated 300 years ago. Like, destroyed, defeated, broken, yielded, shattered into pieces. That was supposed to be the end of the calamity. What is going on here? And of course, now I'm almost done the series. McGillis has now revealed his plan to like use the original One of the Great Knights to like establish law and order and peace throughout his galaxy. I mean,
wrong movie, wrong show.
Wrong show, but it's the same philosophy. Like he goes from like, and the thing is like I wouldn't mind that kind of idea if it was done well from the start, but it's not. Like he's like, I got a bone to pick with the Knights or the fucking 7 stars, whatever they're called. So I'm gonna like expose the corruption. I'm gonna reform it, and that was his entire plot line for the first season. And then the second season, he's trying to play the stars against each other while he accumulates power. And I'm like, all right, that's very clever. He's trying to like reform it. He's trying to weed out the black roots and this thing like that. No, he was just like, no. I'm going to find out who my enemies are. And he has no support from anybody inside the organization. There's no, like, he doesn't build allies. He has Tekken, and that's it. And I'm just like, holy shit, you are retarded. This is a terrible plot line. It's like...
It just doesn't work. I'm like...
It doesn't work. Well, the thing is now there's I think, a total of 7 Gundams in this universe. 7 Gundam frames. I'll correct that. 7 Gundam frames. The Barbados, the 4-arm one that one of the pilots uses. There's another one that has 2 massive rail guns. There's 2 others that are for the 7 stars, and there's 2 more semi-nondescript to the 7 stars. And I'm just like, I'm trying to enjoy this. I'm trying to get behind this, but I'm used to good Gundam. Like Zeta and Double Z and like and even Wing. Like I know Wing has problems, but I'll say like Wing has good stuff to it. Another one of the major problems is also I love the fucking meme. I totally agree with that. Siege needs to be reworked. So does fucking morale and rage combat. Sorry, I'm getting off track. And I'm just like trying to figure out how like their space combat works too, because I was like, oh, that's a really cool concept in the first season where they had massive armored prows and missile tubes to the forward. I was like, that's an awesome idea. That got thrown out this entire season. Like the armored prow doesn't matter anymore. Or well, it does, but.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Dude, I'll be honest. You are ranting to no one.
I know, and I'm so sorry. It's just like... Well, no. Okay, I know how you know
Tony,
how you love...
That's his name.
Yeah.
Got it.
Tony? What?
Tony?
All the way back at the beginning, it was like, I forget third person. No, I'm an idiot. Tony.
Oh, God.
Holy shit! And it wraps all back around.
Oh man!
And I know you love the Barbados design, Rory.
I'm okay with it. I'm not in love with it.
Well, I
think you might be mixing me up with Jeff. Jeff is the one who stands this show.
No, because I remember back when
I like the Barbados. I think it's pretty good. But
the reason why I'm saying I know you like it because you've talked about it to me a couple times and how it's like it gets so dumb. It just I'm gonna fight a thing and I'm gonna lose my armor. This is the 5th time this has happened in this show that it's had all of its armor stripped off in a single fight and had to be repaired again. And I'm just like, all right. These Gundam frames.
Robots get blown up. Oh yeah, I guess this is supposed to be like a thing where like the Gundams are like these super robots that can't be stopped.
300-year-old mechs that don't have replacement parts available to them. Barbados has had its arms ripped off and destroyed 4 or 5 different times in this show. Its armor
I don't even remember that being a detail, if I'm being honest.
I'm trying to like this show. I'm almost done, and that's probably the reason why I'm going to try and finish this tonight, or tomorrow. But like the moment you start and ask questions about the show, you realize it just falls apart. It's got bad plot, bad designs.
So Attack on Titan.
Oh, sure. Do you want to talk about that?
No, I don't, because I know that this will go another half an hour.
I'll fight you on that because I've been watching Attack on Titan and I have been greatly enjoying it.
I love it.
Oh, I dumped it. I jumped off the Attack on Titan train a while ago and I haven't gone back. It's just, I don't know, man. It's like they're trying to be mysterious for mysterious purposes. It's like the stupid fucking mystery box that J.J. Abrams does. It's just like, we're just going to all these mysteries, so I'm going to give you answers.
Let me get a word to edgewise here because you're going to jump from one argument to the other and I want to clear this one up first. There is no point at which Attack on Titan is mysterious for mysteriousness' sake. It's not leading you along. So much has been like, when did you stop watching? First season, second season?
Fuck. The last thing I remember was the tower where where he opens the door and he looks and he sees the Titan and he just shuts the door and just slams the thing down. And that's where I got off.
You are way back in terms of reveal. Like so much stuff is like set up in that game in that story that is then like recontextualized later in a really, really clever way.
And
it's
dark.
Amazing. Like
oh man.
No, it's great. And like like people don't know how it like this the final season is airing right now and the manga's not done. They're supposed to coincide, at least from what I understand. And I'm looking forward to
I don't know how this is going to be the final season because I'm reading the manga. I mean, there's still like what? You guys are about left. You guys are about, well, no, it's only I think episode 4 out of I think 24. I think they're doing a full 24 for this one.
No, from what I understand, it's like 13, 14. It's like 7 in right now.
They're gonna have to cut so much content for that because so much shit happens. Like again, you know, you've watched the first couple episodes where Aaron does the thing, right? Please tell me you've watched Aaron do the thing.
Okay, well, we can't talk about too much without spoiling it. Like,
well, no. Here, Rory, has Aaron committed the war crime for you yet?
A big war crime. Talk shit, get hit. That guy was talking so much shit, and then he got real hit. I don't know. Is there still like 100 chapters of like manga after that?
There's roughly like another 80 chapters after that.
Really?
And we're not done. Like they can. I know episode 1, 2, and 3.
Then how is this the final season?
I don't know. That's why I'm so confused. But like I know I'm watching the end game play out and I don't know where this is going. Shit's gone sideways and then shit went sideways again and then shit went sideways a 4th time. You'll notice I skipped the 3rd time there because that's how fast that shit went sideways. And now I'm just like sitting here going, what are we doing with this situation? What's going on? I don't even know how this solution is going to be panned out because oh my god, it's really cool. Really cleverly, really well written, really well thought out.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, well, with that particular piece of news, because I knew that like the stuff that's going on in the show right now came out in chapters years ago. Because I remember seeing like videos of people like discussing the chapters. So I knew that those have been around for a while. I assumed that it had just been like really slow going or something. If this is also going to be the final season, then they're going to coincide.
It's one. They only release a chapter a month. That's the thing.
Okay, so it has been going slow.
Yeah, but each chapter
you can cover like 80 chapters a
50
lot.
Pages.
Yeah,
it's 50 pages. Oh, I'm not. I might be over exaggerating. It might only be like 20 or 30 you guys behind. But I don't even know.
Well, once the show's done, I will probably go read the manga. But either way, to jump back on the topic of like not jumping too far ahead. Because I have not read the manga at all. Neither has my brother, and he's been the one I've been mainly talking to about this. And we've just sort of been like theory crafting about like how this show is going to end because we don't really have like a solid idea of where exactly this show is going to end, which is great because we're both very analytical with our predictions for like.
I thought I knew where it was going, and then last month's last month's chapter fucking threw my theory out the fucking window.
So yeah, there's plenty going on that I'm greatly enjoying it. I would suggest, Ben, that you do get back into it and try to catch up because it's not that long. It's only like what? This is like the 4th season, although like season 3 was split between 2 things.
Season 3 part 2, season 3 part 1.
It was sort of split, but there's a bunch of good shit going on here. That
like there is so many, and like, oh man, like, mind you, the season 1 is actually, in my opinion, out of all 5 seasons now technically, I think season 1 is by far the worst, and it's still a good season. It's just the worst.
It's the one that drew everyone in with like the mystery of what was going on, and there was just so much time that people just sort of forgot about it, which is kind of great. Honestly, as far as I'm concerned, like it doesn't have the incredible like hype surrounding it anymore, which is great because that means all the shitters left, or at least most of them. I'm sure there's still some shitters around.
I'm going to talk with you this after this about Attack on Titan because I need to ask what was your favorite reveal. Because I don't want to spoil it for Ben.
Okay, yeah,
we reveal.
We can talk about this later because I have an answer for that. And it's not a current one, it's an older one.
Where's my gun? I want to shoot myself. Where is it?
Why? Because we're talking about... Hold on, Josh. Why are you contemplating necking yourself?
Shut up.
Is it because we're talking about anime?
Shut up.
No. Justify this bullshit. Is it because we're talking about anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, really? Do you want another answer?
Josh, this is how we feel every time you talk about your weird porn games. Except that's way worse because there's zero intellectual conversation going on there. It's just dicks.
Well, I think we should taper this down because we've been going for like an hour and a half now.
Yeah, we have. It's been a very energetic podcast.
I do have one kind of like sad thing to post before we leave.
Oh God.
So from the BBC, China wars at Taiwan independence means war as U.S. pledges support.
What? Can you repeat that? My brain did not interpret that as a string of words that worked well together.
I heard war and U.S. pledge support.
China warns Taiwan independence means war as U.S. pledges support.
Okay.
Wait, U.S. pledge support to China?
To Taiwan.
I was about to say, like, oh no.
I knew Biden was corrupt, but I didn't know he was that corrupt. Oh God. Thank you for listening to the Black Mind Podcast. You can find us every week.
I wanted to talk about Lancer though.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that real quick if you want.
All right.
So I've played with Rory.
Yeah.
Here. We're gonna meme a bit for about a very nerdy tabletop game.
Kind of, yeah. Like about giant robots. And actually, because
giant.
I wanted to talk to you guys after this because I'm looking for players to run another run through of this because I put together like a little one shot that lasted it lasted like 3 sessions, but that just tends to be all of my one shots. I run it with my main Saturday group, but I wanted to run it again to get a better feel for the system. Either way, because I know Ben doesn't know what it is. I know I've talked about it a couple times on this podcast. It's a tabletop RPG about fucking mech combat, and it's pretty sick. Allan was the one who was playing it with my usual Saturday group. The other day, he was joining them on their second ever mission.
I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it's a really good game.
It's pretty fun.
I'm not sure how I feel about the size scaling. I think that's my only problem with the game, but that might be just me because I'm so used to like
the size scaling didn't really come into play in the missions that you were on. You didn't fight any enemies that were larger than size 1.
No, we fought some.
Did you?
Yeah, the big boys in the city.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah, you're correct. You fought some size 2 enemies. So what's the deal with that actually?
I'm
getting your feedback on it now.
Yeah. Well, look, again, it's not. I can. This might be just me because I'm projecting from Pathfinder and stuff like that, and how like large works and stuff like that, and that's just kind of like my little disconnect. But I'm kind of like sitting there. It's like if size 2 is so much bigger that it takes up a 2x2 square compared to a size 1 at a 1x1 square. I was just kind of like sitting there. It's like, well, okay. I'm just kind of like sitting there. I was like, well, that's a huge leap in mech design and processing. And then I was like, but wait, I know there's a bigger class than this. Oh God.
Yeah, size 3 is the biggest one. There's only one frame in the game that actually reaches that size, and it's supposed to not move. Its entire shtick is just standing in one place and being artillery.
Yeah, and it might be just because I'm so used to like my other mech games being like BattleTech and Gundam and.
I mean, there is a pretty significant difference in philosophy with the designs of like the larger mechs. Almost all of them are universally used for are able to be universally used as cover because they're larger and they're designed to take more hits. So what sort of other differences were you expecting?
No. I was just considering like the way that the movement was for like the size 2 and up. Because I was just kind of like sitting there. I'm just like, I don't know how for me with the Everest, with the size 1, being, the second smallest you can have a 0.5 size mech if you want. Which is
you can have half-size mechs,
point.
yes. Yeah, essentially.
Which is just essentially power.
Especially the Caliban, because the Caliban is just fucking...
I want to use the Caliban so badly, but I want to hold off on that.
This game has cool mech designs.
I was just kind of like sitting there and it's like, well... As you go up in size, you'd expect it to be like, well, maybe it's harder to get the push and stuff like that. Now, that's how I thought of it, but it's just like it decreases movement. I was like, all right, fine, whatever. I kind of stopped and I thought about it. It's like, but you're now a larger, taller mech with longer stride. How are you moving slow?
Generally, they're not slower, at least from what I understand.
Most of the Mark IIs that I've looked at have had...
Okay, well, the Drake is slow because it's not supposed to be a mobile thing. Neither is the Tortuga.
Yeah.
A lot of the larger ones are designed to be more defense-oriented. So that might be why they have less...
That might just be me looking at my favors and going kind of like extrapolating out, which might be my problem. Again, like I'm coming off of my other three mech games being Titanicus, BattleTech, and Gundam, where Gundam's fairly decent mobile armor in space, but on the ground they're kind of sluggish. Titanicus being fucking 40k, walking cathedrals.
I've got the compendium. I've got the compendium of this of the Lancers open right now. I can check like the various speeds because I know you're probably coming at it from the perspective of like the Drake and the Tortuga because those ones both have speed 3, but they're designed to be like defensive. Drake is designed to like throw down a bunch of cover, and Tortuga is designed to lock down an area with Overwatch attacks.
Yeah, yeah. We should probably kill this because like they're starting to.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
So just
add Josh for that one.
Well, all right. We won't talk about giant robots anymore. We'll do it. Yeah, fuck it. Whatever.
I don't have any input, so it's just like I'm just sitting here, just like I'm watching my audio just go dead silent across. I'm just like, yeah, this is gonna be fun to edit for Jeff.
Well, if you want to amuse yourself, just look up the fucking mech designs for this game because they're fucking great.
Yeah, I love some big ass mechs. I mean, I think about like some of the Warhammer figurines with the giant mechs and that, and I'm just like, man. Oh, you're talking about that stuff. I was like, I just would rather just play Warhammer. I wish I could.
I would love. Oh man. Well, I mean, you could just download. You could buy Tabletop Simulator.
I have Tabletop Simulator.
Fucking. Hey, I need to get that game really badly so I can just start playing Warhammer games again because Jesus Christ, I've been fucking deprived of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn, but like, I don't know how to do it on tabletop, so.
Yeah. However, we'll call it there. And again, just so the listeners know, Ben posted in chat the Pikachu gif of "Get me the hell out of here."
I gotta watch that movie.
He wants to go.
It's so good.
I've never actually seen it. I'll watch it eventually.
Yeah,
you need to. It's good. So good. It's good.
What's we call the podcast? Tony's Revenge.
Tony's Revenge. That's the name of the podcast. Tony's
Tony
Revenge.
sends
Tony's
his
Revenge.
regards.
Thank you for listening to Black Mind Podcast. Episode 274, 284, whatever the fucking
It's
number
284.
is. 284. You can catch us every week on Thursday on your podcast app of choice, and iTunes and Podbean and YouTube and all that fun jazz.
Alan doesn't do the outro much.
Because Jeff does it. Like every time I've tried to do it, Jeff's on. Jeff just carries. Like we carry on talking about something, and then Jeff does it again. And I'm just like, all right.
Well, that's because we keep distracting you when you're doing the outro. Like right now.
Yeah, catch us.
Yes,
thank you for listening and have a good day.
Me.
And
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
but we haven't started talking about anything yet.
All right, I got it all. Good to go.
All right.
What?
So shall we sync and start this bullshit?
Yeah.
I suppose we can do that.
Yep. Doing it live.
I have.
We're doing it live.
Hold on.
You gotta clear out that throat for your.
Yeah. I just had a cornetto, an ice cream drumstick. That's what it's called.
Oh.
Cornado. I was like, Nani?
I'm like, what's this Cornado?
In my
I'm
head, they're
interested.
Cornettos because that's the brand that they use in the Cornetto trilogy, which is the movies by Edgar Wright that feature what's his face.
Oh, yeah.
They're not actually related, but
It's the ice cream that he likes to throw in
It
because
always,
it's like his
it always
favorites.
includes that ice cream and like the same actors, so people just refer to them as the Cornetto trilogy, or at least my brother does anyway. And that's where I got it. All right, well, I'm ready to sync now.
Shit.
All right. Sync in 3, 2, 1.